Hello and welcome to AOR F3 round 5 in Spain. Now coming into this weekend, I had a decent amount of practice actually, but unfortunately most of it was in the dry. I did do a little bit of wet practice, but it wasn't in the Sauber online, it was in time trial, so you know, a bit sketchy on that one. But we're straight into quali, dry session in quali, and then there'll be rain towards the end of the race. Looking to put the banker in and not overcook it on this lap, because towards the end of the session obviously you get the rubbering in, but it's very easy to cock it up here. You can see just gone into second there's a bit of oversteer, so I had to turn away. The car's really on a knife edge on this circuit, and it can be quite hard to hook a lap up, as you can see there. Turning in a bit early, braking a bit early, and then turning in really a bit early there, but then they're running wide as a result. So you can see this first lap's quite scrappy. Coming into the last sector, now there's a yellow flag somewhere and someone's pulled off to the inside. And at this point, I'm getting, unfortunately,
no, it's dirt, yeah, look at the dirt, yeah.
Getting dirt, yeah, from Sertat, whatever his name is. Even at that distance, you can see the punch is just gone. But he was far enough away, really, to not really warrant a penalty. So there's, you know what I mean, I could have compensated for that, and I just didn't react quick enough. So no biggie, but that was a shocking lap, an 18.9. Coming on to our second run now. This is right at the end of the session. We've got a bit of clear air now, and just hoping to really improve obviously on the first, because the second and third sectors were absolutely shocking. So it was the first sector that was alright, and we were actually down there a little bit hesitant on the upshift. In through the long turn 3 we're up a little bit, but we don't really nail the braking point here. We've gone in slightly deep, as you can see, just not really getting the nose in, and we've dropped over a tenth there, so that is really unfortunate. Coming into here now, braked it, I'd say again slightly early, really, not really carrying as much speed as we need to, unfortunately. This is where the time will be made up though, through this quick left right, a little bit of understeer, but the car moved nicely into the second part. Flat out through turn 9, nope, small lift, and we haven't run as wide this time, so as you can see the delta's running up now. We're not really as far up as I'd want to be, but I knew this last sector was somewhere where I could gain time. Really nicely at the apex there. Coming into this long corner now where we went wide the first run, and we've got a bit of traffic, but luckily the Ferrari moves out the way. A little bit wide on the entry there, and then coming into here, we've just gone into second for no reason, and just about kept four wheels on the track there. Bit of a bounce. So here we go, coming across the line, and it's an 18.3. And it was enough for pole position, 3/10 up. I have done an 18.1, but I knew I wasn't going to get an 18.1, and it's quite a hard track to hook up a lap, so I thought, yeah, that's good, that's really good, couldn't really have asked for more. Now with the threat of rain towards the end of the race, the strategy was supposed to be a one-stop, but we'll see how that pans out. Hoping for a good start now, get that traction off the launch, and the first part again isn't that good, but the second part, yeah, we've done quite well there. Coming down to turn 1, and we don't really have anyone challenging us. I mean, hybrid nukes in the slipstream, but that's about it. And coming around turn 1, that really went well. No snaps of oversteer, no contact.
Weather report.
We're immediately asking Jeff here, and he says no rain, but I've seen the weather forecast, so there's this rain not coming at some point towards the last 2 blocks of the race, which is however many laps that is, but the last third, put it that way. So on this lap now we continue, and for the first half of the race really, we continue to ask Jeff, when's it going to rain, when's it going to rain, when's it going to rain, because I want to know whether I go soft medium, thinking that the rain's going to come early, or I go soft hard, thinking that the rain's going to come late. The strategy is soft hard. As you can see, no threat of rain. The strategy is soft hard, and that would involve pitting on lap 11 or 12 and then taking the hards to the end. It's not a difficult strategy. Obviously the softs are a bit edgy towards the end of the first stint, but other than that it's a pretty straightforward strategy. 2-stop is also on the cards. I've seen people do a soft medium as well, so I mean that's pretty ambitious for me anyway, but for them obviously it's not that much of an issue. But coming to the end of the first lap, not really any trouble, not overhooking anything, and the gap is around a second. So we've done quite well there, but we're still trying to think further and further ahead. When's the rain going to happen? So for 10 laps straight we asked Jeff and he said no rain, no rain, no rain, no rain. Coming in now to pit early because I know there's going to be rain towards the end of the race because the cloud cover's already picking up. Coming to the pits now, Jonas is behind me. He's come in as well, and the guy behind Jonas, whoever that is, has come in and pitted too. Two guys have carried on, and there are a few guys that started on a harder tyre and they carried on as well because they're on a different strategy. But we've had a good stop. Coming out now into clean air, so I'm quite happy about that. Onto the hard tyres. You can see the cloud cover's picking up a bit. So we decided to ask Jeff again, when's it going to rain? So we know how hard we need to push. And here we go.
Weather report.
Ah. So it was no rain and then all of a sudden it's 10 to 15 minutes. So that's a bit shit. Could have gone on the mediums, could have had more pace. But hybrid Nuka caught us really quickly. Obviously he had the undercut, so he gained a bit of time through that, and then he's on a faster tyre as well, so he's just got more pace than us at the moment. So I mean, I'm not thinking of really fighting him ridiculously hard because again the difference in tyre strategies is quite strong, but I'm hoping to battle him at least. You know, I'm not going to give it up too easy. So we got a decent exit at the last corner, but of course he's had a slightly better one. So we moved to the inside to break the slipstream, which we're allowed to do. Then we ease the car back into the middle of the track and we just leave it here. And he goes for the move up the inside and there's contact there. Luckily we both make it through and I leave him enough room. But just going to take a look at this incident now, just in case he took any damage. You see the pit lane exit line goes straight here. You can see I'm actually moving to the left slightly and the contact happens as I'm actually opening up the inside line. So I wasn't moving about, it was either dead straight or you could call it as moving to the left slightly. If anything, that was opening up his line. So unfortunately the contact there, I mean it can happen when your wheels interlock and things like that, but it certainly wasn't my doing.
Steering wheel didn't move.
As I said, steering wheel didn't move. But coming up to here, he's had a really good run. He's gone to the outside. We've managed to drift our way through there down to third, accidentally in fact, but he's looking for a move at the inside here and he's going to go for it. We've let the car run wide, try and get good traction on the exit and give him space. Giving him space there, drag race down into the next set of corners. And we do brake later than him and we managed to get the nose in, but there's a bit of contact there, so a bit of oversteer, but again no harm done. We've managed to keep the place and that's all good, but I was hoping he didn't have damage from that turn. I don't think he has because he hasn't really dropped back. It's just unfortunate. If you want to look back you can see that we were, if anything, moving to the left as that pit exit line is dead straight. And if anything, we were slightly opening the door for him after we'd chosen our line in the middle of the track. Coming on now to the end of lap 14, start of lap 15, and he is closer than ever. As you saw, the arrow went double into the last chicane and it's pretty solid now. It's only just starting to fade away, so same again, just broke the slipstream slightly there. Now we've stuck to the left and we've said, look, if you're going to pass me now, you may as well pass me, I'm losing too much time. Down the inside he goes. We brake later than him and he slipped back at the inside and there's contact. And he doesn't let us back through. So slow-mo of the incident here, you can see I brake later than him and then you can see his arrow drop back and then come towards me again, which means he released the brake into my side pod. I've had to correct a slide, and at this point there's an element of the rules that says if you're responsible for causing an incident you need to give the place back.
Push to pass?
Push to pass is the rule in British touring cars where they say, you know, you're not really allowed to push to pass someone.
You've literally just crashed into me, mate.
So what happens if that is supposed to happen, you just let them back through, but unfortunately he hasn't let me back through, so that's the bit in the rules that says that. I just find that really unfortunate. If it was me in that position, I'd have let him straight back through. Obviously I stayed to the left and left him as much room as he needed, and the arrow shows that just released the brake and that was enough to spear into the sideboard. Luckily I didn't get any damage. I think he might have though, because a couple of laps later he hasn't really pulled away. Coming to the last sector now, I'm closer than ever, closer than I've been for the last couple of laps. And a bit of oversteer there on the exit, and I'm thinking, right, okay, we'll go for the move here because I'm getting held up. He must have taken damage in that collision. But I'm just going to capitalise on that now, and here we go down to turn 1. I look to the inside, but he moves the block, so I just got to go and put my nose down the outside. There's a little bit of contact there, but no damage done, no harm done. He left me a car's width. End of lap 21 though, we caught him back up, so I think he must have, and there we go, there's the understeer. At this point there's nowhere to pass, so I'm just going to I was going to line him up for a pass down the straight, but that didn't come off, as you can see here, because he pitted before me, and of course my tyres are on 40% now, so his must be shredded. And coming up out of the chicane here, he pits, so that releases us into clean air. But Jonas has caught us up by a couple of seconds through all that, so that's unfortunate.
Weather report.
Jeff says 5 minutes, so we're going to keep pushing through that.
Tyre status.
A little bit later on it started raining, as you can see, and Jeff's saying so. Lap 26, 007%. I don't know how many stops he's done, but I think he's been out since the start, I'm not sure. But as you can see here, he's a bit out of shape there. We're coming into turn 3 now, he's really out of shape. He put the nose at the inside and he's left some room. That's good racing. And coming down into turn 4 now, looking for the inside. Oh no, going to go for the outside, and he's kept the car quite tight actually. He's done very well there on his tyres that are trashed. Coming into this corner now, I look at the inside and there's contact,
whoa,
but
is
not
that
on my
lag?
screen. You can see that his car moves before I even end up there. So you can see he closes the door, which tells me, okay, he doesn't really know that I'm there. There must be a desync. And you see his car moved there before we even got within a foot of each other. His car started sliding out. So I was like, right, okay, that's lag. This is what Hybrid Nuke should have done. And just, there we go, lifted, car goes past, you know, normal racing resumes. There's clearly an issue there, and I let him back past. I didn't take damage, but I could see he had to correct the car from the slide, so there we go, no harm done, let him back through. But as you can see, conditions are getting pretty treacherous now. I almost follow him off there. Jeff's telling me it's pretty greasy. It's really touch and go now, because there's very little grip on these slicks, and in real life if it was raining this much I think it would be time for intermediates right now, but there's still not really any water on the circuit. But you can see the understeer is horrific, and here comes Jonas. Through all that melee of giving positions back and things, Jonas has brought the gap down to a couple of tenths. And
Tyre status.
Jeff's saying that the tyres are okay, but I knew this was going to be tough with him being this close, because in Russia he had so much more pace. Asking Jeff. Telling me I got 4 laps of fuel left. He's saying that it's okay to stick with these slicks, so I was like, I'm a bit skeptical, because as you can see here I'm sliding right out, and I'm like, not quite sure. So coming here, I asked him again. There we go, he's just changed his mind in the last sector. Cheers, Jeff. Perfect.
Box this lap.
So we make the decision there, and in hindsight I think we could have gone another lap, to be honest with you, because coming out of the pits on the inters I just didn't feel any more grip. It's a real grey area here. I think you could have lost some time on the slicks obviously, but you'd have to be really sharp on the inters to have made something of that. But as you can see, Crazy Legs has stayed out another lap, and at the time I was like, right, okay, it's inters, and then as soon as I came out on the inters I thought, right, okay, with the wheel spin there, and then coming down to turn 1 I braked early, and I still was like, ooh, a bit unsure, whoa, and there's no grip at all. So at this point I knew straight away that it was too early, and you can see the oversteer, it's just way too early, unfortunately for us. Oh, massive kick of oversteer, and Jonas isn't that far behind, so I've got to be careful how many times I do that. Coming into here now, just see we're so gentle on the power, and we're still losing the rear. Jonas has got so much more pace. Yet again, just like Russia, just absolutely flying he is. Turn 5 now, just so much understeer. Trying to play with the diff to see what I can do about that, because the car is just not turning. Oh my days, look at that, it's all over the place. Really bad there. And coming into the long turn 9, I've just got no confidence at all. Jonas is flying, and he goes to the outside. Fair enough, because I've lost so much time, but somehow we managed to brake slightly later and get through this tight turn 10 together. It's going to be real pinch into 11, but he backs out of it. We left him enough room anyway though. This is really treacherous now, because I know that it's just too early. It's too early to have changed. I can feel the heat in the tyres. It's just way too high. Last chicane, I mean, look how slow we're having to go. It's so slow. The car is all over the place. Big kick of oversteer, and another massive kick. We haven't got to catch that. Whoa, massive, huge slide there. And here comes Jonas. Unfortunately, he's just made better of the conditions. But you can still see he's got DRS there, so it was really, at that point I knew, okay, yep, definitely way too early. But he's made a mistake into turn 1. Obviously, running DRS in the inters is unusual. So here we go into turn 3. We've taken a slightly wider line. He's touched the curb, had a tad of oversteer there. Well, it's quite a lot of oversteer actually at this speed. So we've gone for a look at the inside. There's DRS disabled, so now's the right time to be on inters. Side by side here, can we make it through the corner together? And we've had a big kick of oversteer there, and we've touched him and went round. So that wasn't his fault at all. You can see he was on the outside of the track, and I just had oversteer into this. Crazy legs, that's how close he was. The difference a lap can make. You can see there's a little bit of a sheen on the road now, and it took me a couple of laps to really get back in the groove. As you can see, the tyres have just got shit all over them now, so Ace has names almost going to have me. It took me a couple of laps to really find a rhythm, but I think it was towards the end of 32 I managed to get back within 8/10 of Crazy Legs. So as you can see, the gap's quite close now. This is the end of the race, unfortunately. We haven't been able to catch Crazy Legs. Big kick of oversteer there, almost lost the car. Haven't been able to catch back up. Jonas has won the race. Managed to get some pace on the inters, but it was too little too late. And unfortunately that was, well, I think overall, if you look at it, Jonas has done a really fantastic job to hold the car in that position. Crazy Legs has come again from towards the back of the grid, and he's nailed it again. But I think the time lost was where I got hit off track. I nudged 007 Professional, not even on my screen, but yeah, we made contact, so I let him back past. And that just gave Jonas a couple of seconds that he needed, you know, and a couple of seconds that took away from me to get used to the circuit. But I think the overriding factor out of all of it was pitting that lap too early for the inters. I don't know if we jumped the gun as such, because it was really touch and go, but at the end of the day, I think Crazy Legs nailed it. You know, that's as good as we can get. Really unfortunate about that contact. I think that Hybrid Nuke will have taken wing damage, but I do feel that there's contact, and if there's contact in the past that results in someone else losing a lot of time, you know, the racing etiquette is to let them back past, especially on the game. So I will be applying for that, and we'll see what comes of that. Unfortunately, towards the end of the race, he had a load of disconnects, so I don't know where he finished. But we'll see what comes of it, and hopefully we can keep it together in Monaco. But I doubt it. We'll probably not finish. You know, what can you say? It's Monaco.